In this video I present the Microscope HD product, that is a digital microscope product of SANXO systems. Microscope HD is designed for manual inspection of, for example, PCB boards, but any objects. At first I will present the physical setup of the product, after which I move to the software features. So the physical setup consists of the adjustable stand, the platform, the monitor and the PC attached behind the monitor, and of course the camera and the lens. The adjustable stand can be used to change the working distance of the lens or the camera, which also affects the magnification level. The platform usually comes with the ESD mat, as the product is used often for PCB inspection. The monitor that we like to use is a full HD 22-inch monitor, and the PC is a compact PC that can be attached behind the monitor. The lens in this setup is a Tamron 50mm fixed focal length, with which you can adjust the focus and the aperture of the setup. The camera that we use in this case is a 10 megapixel IDS UI camera. The light source doesn't ship with the product, as the light source should be always designed according to the target. In this case we are using white diffused angled light, which fits well for products like this that have metallic surfaces and when we are using a color camera. So that was the physical setup. Now I will move to the software features of Microscope HD. The main software features in the Microscope HD are zooming, moving, saving images, and calibration and measurement. The zooming happens by using the sensor, the large or the high resolution sensor of the camera, and changing the AOI mode of the sensor. The normal interface to Microscope HD for the operator is a mouse. We use all the features of the mouse, like clicks, double clicks, mouse scroll and right click. The scroll wheel is used for the zooming. So if I scroll up like this, the system will zoom in. If I scroll back or down, the system will zoom out. Like this. As you can see, we can change the position or the location of the zoom. Like we can zoom into this component over here, and we can zoom back out easily. The moving, which is useful when the system is zoomed in, is done by left click and drag. And it basically works so that when you, for example, when you start the drag at some point, that should move to the location where you release, like this, as you can see. And now with the moving, like with the zooming as well, every time we do an action like this, the system also draws an overlay feedback of what we're doing. Like right now we can see two rectangles in the top right corner that basically show where the AOI area in the sensor is located in this case. It will give us useful information that what areas we've already seen and where we are moving right now. The same applies to the zooming. When I zoom back, right now we are in the highest zoom level, which shows basically the whole sensor image. But if I zoom in, it will show us where we are zoomed in right now. There are other overlay information as well that we will see later on, like regarding the saving and the calibration as well. But one of the basic ones is that when we, for example, open the toolbar menu or the context menu by right-clicking, in the top left corner we see some additional information of the system, such as the resolution, the current zoom level, and some other parameters like where the images are saved or information of the calibration. Let us move to the saving images feature now. There are basically two types of image saving in the Microscope HD. We can save the current view for example, which is meaningful, for example, when we have zoomed in like this, and we want to save the view that we see right now. Then we open the context menu and we click the top left tool button in the context menu. It will save the image into the local hard drive, into the specified folder, or on USB pen drive if we have connected one. Like right now we have a USB pen drive over there behind the monitor connected to the PC, and right now it saves the images automatically into the pen drive, which is a very useful feature to transfer images from the Microscope HD to your local PC. The other saving images mode is to save the full screen. So regardless of the zoom level that we are in right now, like right now we have zoomed in into a certain position in the sensor, but we can still take or save a snapshot of the full sensor like this. It will save the image with the same principle as with the normal saving. The last feature that I present here in this video is the calibration and the measurement. By default, without calibration, we can also measure pixel distances in the image, like this. We can toggle between the real world units and the pixel distances. And right now, I toggled to use the pixel distances, like this. The pixel distance is also useful for measurement when you want to see the relative size, or when you want to compare relative sizes of objects in the image. The pixel distances are basically mapped on the sensor of the camera, so zooming will take into account the distance. The distance between these two dots is the same in that zoom level as it's here in this zoom level. We can also calibrate the system so that we can use, for example, millimeters as the measurement unit. The calibration is done using a calibration card. We have our own calibration card, but basically any card or any size can be used. Let us calibrate the system now. We will put the card down into the view, after which we open the right-click menu and click the calibration button. It will look for the pattern, which sometimes takes some time if the image is really large. But in this case, it found the calibration fast, and now the system is calibrated. It shows quick feedback that the calibration is complete, and now we can use the real-world units. Now we have millimeters. So let us zoom in again. We can, for example, check the distance of these two dots over here in millimeters. This one right now will also indicate what is basically the zoom level of the system, which should be around 30 times in this case. It depends on the working distance, but with this 50 millimeter and with this zoom resolution, we are talking about between 20 and 40 times magnification, I mean. As a final feature, I will also show quickly the advanced settings in the system, which we call the engineering interface. The normal usage we call the operator interface, which is used with the mouse, and we can also access the advanced settings if we connect a keyboard to the system. The advanced settings are accessed through the context menu by clicking the Open Settings button and typing in the password. The settings expose a lot of parameters related to the different features in the system. The general parameters have the camera calibration file, the image saving folders, the overlay color, and a few others. The Zoom Profiles tab exposes the zoom resolutions, which we can also change. We don't necessarily have to use these exact resolutions that are the default ones. We can, for example, use only 2 zoom levels to zoom back and forth between those two. And we can select the sizes of those two as well. The calibration settings basically give us the opportunity to use different different calibration cards. You don't have to use our calibration card. For example, if you use a completely different lens, you might want to use a much smaller card. Or if you use a lens that has a much smaller focal length, you can use a much bigger pattern. And then you can define the pattern here yourself and also use whatever units you wish, like feet. Well, that's it. So that was the introduction to the SANXO Scope HD product. Thank you very much.